90% of the glacial periods didn't happen by accident. They happened either because we got raided and the grids were crashed, which throws the place into pole spin, and then the weather patterns go crazy because the electromagnetic fields go crazy for a while. Or there are several of them that were intentionally created to make races move out of certain areas where stargates were. So some of them were intentionally created. Once upon a time there was something called firmament crystals in the Atlantian period, and way before that, even in the Palladian periods. They had a technology that could use selenite crystal rods that they brought in from Sirius B that are much bigger than the ones that you would find here, selenite crystal. They would erect them in certain ways corresponding to the stargates, and they would create what was called a hydrosuspension field. It was a way of atomizing water and freezing it quickly and suspending it into the atmosphere and making two layers of it with a heat layer in between. And if you regulated the frequencies coming from the selenite rods the right way, you would have climate control. You could have global climate control. If you wanted it to rain, you'd move the heat up in a certain area and it would create an interaction. That would create rainfall. Now, of course, if you keep doing that, you're going to deplete your hydrosuspension field. So there was a back kick that would draw literally ocean water up, desalinate it, and turn it back into the hydrosuspension field. However, it's great to have climate control on the planet. But if somebody doesn't like you and comes in and crashes your crystals, you're going to have big floods, and you're going to have grids going out of whack again. So there were several periods of glacial periods that were created for that because of that. They weren't accidents, they were intentional, because the fallen angelics knew that, well, if we want that stargate and they're in our way, that's one way to get them out. You know, it wasn't always easy to come in and raid directly, because you had in Sirius B, which is one of the closest places to get to from density 2, they can get here very quickly compared to some other places because of the way the vortices run. There's a direct vortice that runs from Sirius B to this planet. It comes down in Kauai, Hawaii. It's called the Halls of Amareya. It was where seeding 2 was seeded through. It was an extra portal that was put in to connect those two places. So races that raid here have to be very careful not to cross into the Sirius B area, because there will be guardian blockage. They will find themselves in the middle of problems. Excuse me, no, you're not going there. So it's always been like a sneaky infiltration. But anyway.